there is there's a reckoning, a reckoning going on. WRECK and happening over in Republican Town, and nobody's happy. And I have to say, is it good that we don't have a current speaker? No, we got a pro tem. It's fine. It will stuff be able to make it to the, will McHenry be getting yelled at to bring bills to the floor? Sure. Will he have the votes to pass stuff through the Senate? No. Will there be a coordinated effort, where a functioning speaker would be able to do shit? No. But McCarthy wasn't doing that anyways, so who gives a fuck? And in the interim, I think we're all allowed a 48-hour holiday where we can just giggle a bit at this bullshit. Especially since the CR, the temporary CR, was passed already. If they'd have ousted him because he was even thinking about passing this thing, which would be the gutsy thing to do, I suppose, if you were really this kind of fiscal conservative, blah, 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 that they all pretend to be. I'd almost be impressed, and we'd all have something to worry about because, oh shit, it's right around the corner. But the funny thing is now the pressure's back on them, and we get to watch them have another January. Meanwhile, they're going to run out of time to pass all these 12 separate bills, and they're going to have to pass an omnibus CR. And Jim Jordan doesn't have the votes. I don't think. I think it's Steve Scalise. If anybody in the group that's been mentioned, it's Steve Scalise. Because Steve Scalise was shot, and Steve Scalise will get, for all the talk about how supposedly Democrats live in a victim mentality, believe me, he will be able to parlay that. Jim Jordan was just on other shows clamoring about the fact that McCarthy was robbed. So I don't know how you make the case to that other group of assholes that you're going to be okay. He just went on shows and was saying, like, McCarthy kept his promises. How the fuck do you run as an alternative or the next step forward if you're just going, we should have just stuck with that dude, right? Well, yeah, Scalise isn't doing that necessarily. He's keeping a low profile. Meanwhile, though, ooh, boy, is there a bunch of flapping around. Mark Levin, of all people, is losing his shit. Apparently, he thinks Matt Gaetz is a commie, left-wing activist disguised as a villainous big boy character. I just think they're all a mess. I don't think there's any coordination here at all. I think this is just the jackhole dumbass gang, and they're just, Keystone copping their way around the House floor, which is not surprising. I mean, this is, again, countries are going to go through times like these. It's just going to happen. I don't, that's fine. We all have growth moments, right? Sometimes you have to do something really stupid to remind yourself how far you'd actually come and how far you still have yet to go. And so this post-COVID, post-Trump, and in the turmoil of like restructuring sort of the global just-in-time manufacturing concept, there's going to be a lot of shakeup going on. A lot of people are going to be looking for answers and be looking in the wrong place. They're going to assume the problem is somewhere it ain't. And they're going to usually assume also that the problem is caused by their political enemy or whomever. And so we're going to see a lot of this boiling bullshit because these people, Larry Kudlow and Mark Levin, are not intellectually capable of contemplating the issues in front of them, and they never will be. These are far too complex. And on a side note, if I may, real quick, look, not everybody can kind of keep track of all the details of any problem, even in their own personal life. There are a lot of moving parts. It's one of the reasons why I personally don't believe that there's a lot of rejection in the entertainment industry, because you have to be some kind of arrogant asshole to think that you're the one reason why they didn't pick you. That your performance was so bad, they're like, no, pick somebody else. Because there's a myriad of other things. You look too much like one of the other characters. You don't fit in the visual ensemble. They've already cast 3 other people. That happened in other shows that I've been in to other actors, and I'm like, it's not you. It's the wrong fit for the time. So don't beat yourself up because you did just fine. The next thing, just keep at it. Just never let go. Just keep going at it. Okay, so there's too many moving parts for you to assume what was the causative element, and people focus on the correlative, and usually it's them. It's something about me and my, right? Especially arrogant assholes like Gates and other folks like that. Or it must be my enemy that is the cause of this instead of fucking weather, volcanoes, and life, and a butterfly flapping its wings in Oklahoma and a hurricane happens in Thailand. Those kind of, the depth of connectivity is in complex systems. It's a bit hard to grasp for some people. Not me, but for some people. And it's fun watching these people walk around insisting that they know what the problem is and they know how to fix it. When in fact, there have been many times where people that we regularly see as part of these clips, I have kind of as I mature like an old oak barrel doing this show, I have come to the determination that there are some folks, from the Young Turks to Rusty Trombone to Mark Levin to Glenn Beck, who see and perceive a problem that exists. They recognize that problem. They know that problem is there. As a matter of fact, they see it. Other people see it as well. However, they are intellectually, morally, ethically, and sometimes simply on a communication level, incapable of handling it. They are not smart enough to talk about that issue. So that's where most of our current fuck-ups come. And when you start talking about the complexities, that's when people think you're a centrist or a generalist, without any kind of rudder, because you're looking at all the moving parts. It's really easy when you're only looking at two moving parts on something to make huge assumptions about what's broke and how to fix it. And that's what these assholes do all day, every fucking day. And you can tell that part of the problem with our discourse is that you have people who are fucking convinced that they are smarter than they are, communicating a really a partial take, the one blind man touching the elephant, right? Description of the issue, and they think they know what the issue is. They know what the problem is, and they know how to solve it. When they absolutely are, they will never be capable of understanding it. Mark Levin is one of those people. It's why he's so upset all the time. He is also a twat. I appreciate you bringing that up, chat room. I wasn't going to say it, but you beat me to it. So, anyways, we'll catch up. We're going to catch bits and pieces today because there's a lot of moving stuff, including Trump coming and going from the courtroom. I think I have better video than we had earlier for audio sake, so we'll revisit those perhaps, and then there might be one that I haven't seen, but we'll see it. Okay. By the way, this is I think as it happened, right? This is from Mark Levin Show.
Joining me now, my old friend Mark Levin, the great one, host of Life, Liberty, and the Pursuit of Happiness.
No, the Life, Liberty, and Levin is the name of the show, you drunk fuck.
That's host of Life, Liberty, and Levin. I like the Pursuit of Happiness, too. Anyway, on Fox News, he's...
Yeah, but you have to understand, Mark Levin is the opposite of the Pursuit of Happiness.
The author of The Democrat Party Hates America. One of many best-selling books. Mark Levin, welcome.
Well, because best-selling books with an asterisk next to him, because he has like Super PACs and the Heritage Foundation and other folks buy him in bulk.
Welcome back to the show. You know what just let me start in the book, because it's so apocryphal what's happening today. One of the things I love about the book is the notion, your idea, that Democrats want to be, quote, transformational, which is another way of saying they don't like America.
By the way, he means like the TYT progressive left crowd, and he wants to take that and paint everybody with a broad brush. Now, I credit Joe Biden for making a differentiation between maggots and run-of-the-mill Republicans and genuine conservatives and Christian conservatives and the like, because they still exist, and you can argue your points with them. And again, we can agree on the problem, not agree on the solution, and try to work out something in the middle. That's what democracy is about. But, maggots being a specific slice of bullshittery that we all have to deal with right now and are the driving force behind the function of the Republican Party right now. Mark Levin does not make that distinction. Anybody who's for Social Security at this point is a fucking commie.
Because if you really like America, you don't want to transform it. You might.
Well, no, you might want to transform it into its ultimate promise. Take what's in the Constitution and actualize it in a way that it has not been actualized heretofore. But I mean, he's just using this excuse to just jump off to talk about it.
You might provide some economic incentives. You might provide more opportunity, but you don't.
You might provide a gin fizz.
You don't want to transform the entire thing, and yet you hear this over and over again from Joe Biden, Mark Levin. What is up with that?
What is up? What is up with that? But has he answered yet?
You know, Larry, I have to say this.
No, you don't.
So why are 11 Republicans helping the most diabolical party in the United States of America?
Yeah.
Because they're diabolical in a bipartisan way. It's bipartisan diabolicalism. That's why I think.
Yeah.
Why are they joining with the Progressive Caucus and the Marxists in the House of Representatives who hate this country?
Maybe because they hate this country too, but for different reasons, and so they did fight. Yeah.
To do what they're doing today. They are basically 11 demagogues who want you to believe that all these things that have been passed in the House, they haven't taken effect. So why aren't they focused on the Republican leadership in the Senate? That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the problem. The fact that Republicans don't control the Senate because they lost.
That's number one. Number two, they talk about a 33.
But for the record, and Mark Levin's entire argument is number two. Just saying. You don't expect me to take these dickheads seriously, do you?
$3 trillion debt. I was talking about this all through the pandemic.
Were you now?
Nobody's talking about the debt, including Matt Gaetz.
Right. Why would we be? It's like standing in a fucking hurricane going, why is no one talking about the cable bill? Right.
Who never talked about the debt. I don't remember 5.
Yeah, Trump was in office. That's the gag, right? That we know. Trump is responsible for a third of the fucking national debt. We get it.
Republicans going to the fore, blasting the Republican administration.
Yeah, sorry this is quiet if they're...
For the outrageous spending under camouflage of the pandemic. But today they get on the floor and they're going to save the country. Jefferson talked about the tyranny of the minority.
George Jefferson, by the way.
He also talked about the tyranny of the legislature.
Oh.
I have supported government shutdowns. You and I both worked for Reagan. There were 8 of them. And there should have been...
Yeah, one for every year he was in office.
Government shutdowns. And there should be more government shutdowns.
No, there shouldn't be. You should be able to work your shit out like fucking adults without having to shut the goddamn government down. It's goofy brinksmanship. It's toddler bullshit. And this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning of this. This is why this asshole is not mentally capable of comprehending the depth of the issues he's in. And the fact that he's actually involved in any of these things or even was at any point is the sad story. This dude and Kudlow Peter principled their way into positions of power that they had no business being anywhere near.
But this isn't Pickett's charge up the hill at Gettysburg, where the Union with 60,000 soldiers is waiting over the other end. That was a dumb move. And it was ordered by General Lee, one of the great
losers in history.
Generals.
Yeah, losers, big greatest losers, and yeah. They got the guy who was fighting for enslaving human beings. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, brilliant tactician. It's a couple of stupid plays, and of course, the entire basis of his reason for fighting was morally horrifying. But
Pickett's charge may make you feel good.
It does. Absolutely. It's a nickname I have for something. As a matter of fact, Pickett's charge is my safety phrase.
But when it actually has an adverse consequence, that's outrageous.
Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, outrageous. What more could you ask for? Ladies and gentlemen, outrageous. That means he doesn't know what he's talking about. And again, he's admitting to his own ignorance in this particular situation. Outrageous!
So we have here a tyranny of anarchists, not a tyranny of normal minority.
Yeah, I prefer a tyranny of normal minority. How about no tyranny at all, dumb fuck? Why, he literally has a preferred type of tyranny. I like vanilla tyranny. I don't like this chunky monkey rocky road kind of. Ew.
I'm a conservative. Newt Gingrich is a conservative.
Oh, so you also have 3 wives, and you served divorce papers to your second wife while she was recovering from cancer surgery? I don't know what the standard is for conservative. I'm just curious. Somebody's. Yeah. What I just mean, why would you say you're like him in that way?
Chip Roy is a conservative.
No. He's a strip mall cowboy.
Byron Donalds is a conservative.
No, he's just dumb.
The vast majority of the Freedom Caucus, which is built on constitutional conservatism and free markets, opposes what's taking place today. You want to know why?
Because they want the power. They don't want Matt Gaetz to have the power and take it from them, although they signed on to this rule because they're fucking stupid. Why the fuck should the rest of us, should anybody be on the hook for the rules that these Freedom Caucasians set up in these with McCarthy in the start of this, and that says that one person can motion to vacate and fuck off the speaker, and then they do it like you weren't supposed to set up the tripwire and let it go. You weren't supposed. It was just for window dressing. They did this to themselves. Why is this anyone's fault but theirs?
America, because of this.
No one cares about your book. Okay, this is a minor panic attack from him.